So, how exactly do people, particularly in Chinese culture, manage to stay incredibly slim and fit without meticulously logging every single calorie? Seriously, no calorie counting. Today, we're diving straight into this explainer to unpack the fascinating lifestyle habits that make this actually possible. We are breaking down the actionable, science-backed habits behind these Chinese weight loss secrets. And look, we're moving completely away from the whole restrictive starvation mindset. Instead, we're focusing on biological harmony. It's all about working with your body's natural systems rather than constantly fighting them. Now, to understand sustainable habits, we first gotta look at exactly what not to do. Take the shocking reality of extreme celebrity diets. Chinese actress and model Crystal Zhang lost almost 30 pounds to get down to just 96 pounds. How? By eating literally only a cucumber and a boiled egg for all 3 meals. Oh, and occasionally some unseasoned chicken breast. And get this, when she craved junk food, like fried chicken, she would literally just watch her friends eat it and imagine she was eating it herself. Yeah, no way. That is the exact opposite of the long-term healthy habits we're focusing on today. Instead of starvation, here is our roadmap to mindful living. We'll cover the secret to staying slim, portions and the 80% rule, the science of eating order, essential swaps and tools, and finally, post-meal movement habits. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the secret to staying slim. So, the real secret here? It's not some crazy crash diet. It's adopting a philosophy of mindful habits that, actually work with your body. The absolute key takeaway is completely ditching strict diets. You don't need to obsess over weighing your food on a tiny digital scale. Seriously, put the scale away. Instead, the whole foundation relies entirely on mindfulness and creating a true biological harmony with how and when you eat. Moving right along to section 2, portions and the 80% rule. This shift from external calorie counting to internal body awareness is rooted in a concept known as Hara Hachibu. This ancient philosophy is an absolute game changer for this lifestyle. The idea is simple. You don't eat until your plate is completely wiped clean or until you literally have to unbutton your pants. You stop when you are exactly 80% full. Hitting that exact 80% mark means you're satisfied, right? But you're not stuffed, and this prevents the severe overeating that typically leads to weight gain. But to do this, it requires you to actually pay close attention to the physical signals your stomach is sending up to your brain. It makes eating an active, mindful process rather than just kind of passively, mindlessly zoning out while you chew. Now you might be wondering, okay, how do I practically measure that portion without my trusty food scale? Well, just look at your own hands. Using the Anjali Pamana method, your 2 palms placed together naturally dictate a perfectly balanced meal size tailored specifically to your body. It's brilliant because it's a visual cue you carry with you everywhere you go. No extra tools required. Okay, let's dive into section 3, the science of eating order. So when you consume way too many carbohydrates all at once, you trigger what's called a glucose spike. Now, this sudden surge of sugar is meant to give yourselves energy, but in reality, it's a primary driver of fatigue, that annoying mid-afternoon brain fog, sudden hunger crashes, and, most importantly for weight loss, stubborn fat storage. The ultimate goal here is to flatten that spike. And a solution to flattening it is incredibly simple. I mean, you can eat the exact same meal, but completely change how your body processes it just by changing the order of your bites. Seriously. You eat your fibers first, move to proteins and fats second, and you save your carbs for absolutely last. This drastically slows down how fast that glucose hits your bloodstream, naturally flattening the curve and keeping your energy super stable. Another awesome science-backed hack to flatten that glucose spike is simply consuming vinegar. Having it within a 20-minute window, either right before you start eating or right after you finish, successfully slows down the speed your body absorbs glucose. Why? Because the acetic acid literally slows down how fast your stomach empties. It's such a tiny addition, but it comes with massive metabolic benefits. Let's check out section 4, essential swaps and tools. This one is fascinating. Ditching the standard spoon for chopsticks is incredibly effective for weight management. Think about it. A spoon makes it dangerously easy to just shovel large bites into your mouth and eat way too quickly. Chopsticks, on the other hand, they literally force you to take smaller bites. They naturally slow down your entire eating pace, which gives your brain the time it actually needs to register that you're getting full. Plus, they encourage you to chew your food thoroughly before swallowing. Making some really simple ingredient trades can also make a massive metabolic difference over time. For example, substituting simple carbs like white rice for complex ones like brown rice adds vital fiber to your meal. And swapping out your morning coffee for matcha green tea, that provides a steady, prolonged energy boost and loads of beneficial antioxidants. Remember, these aren't temporary diet fads. They are smart, permanent upgrades to your everyday routine. Of course, you gotta combine these swaps with the absolute basics of human health. You need to be drinking 2 to 3 liters of water daily, for sure, and you should absolutely substitute highly processed snacks with fresh fruits. But here is the really crucial part. You should never, ever skip a meal. Skipping meals just leads to intense cravings and massive overeating later in the day, which totally ruins that 80% fullness rule we talked about earlier. So don't do it. All right, bringing us to our final part, Section 5, Post-Meal Movement Habits. A massive secret to this lifestyle is making sure you stand up for at least 15 minutes after eating. Seriously, do not sit right back down on the couch, and definitely do not lie down in bed. Staying upright immediately aids in digestion, and it kickstarts the active process of using up that energy you literally just consumed. The magic really happens in this specific post-meal window. So, at 0 minutes, you finish your perfectly portioned meal. Great! For the next 15 minutes, you are standing. Then, within a 70-minute window after eating, you need to exercise, or at least move your muscles. Moving your muscles physically burns up the glucose circulating in your bloodstream so much faster, and that ensures it gets burned off as energy instead of being stored away as stubborn fat. Pairing this post-meal movement with a consistent daily workout plan is the ultimate formula to make sure you burn more calories than you take in. A highly effective trending strategy right now is to pick an exercise, knock out 30 repetitions, take a strict 10-second break, and then immediately move right on to the next. Repeating this intensely focused, short burst workout every single day for 1 month yields incredible results. Why? Because you're supercharging your metabolism right when your blood sugar is at its absolute peak. So, I'm gonna leave you with this provocative thought to consider the very next time you sit down to eat. If you implement the eating order, use your hands to measure portions, grab a pair of chopsticks, and commit to standing up right after you finish, how will your entire relationship with food change? As you start practicing these highly sustainable, culturally proven lifestyle habits, you might just find that listening to your body is far, far more effective than counting its calories. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Catch you next time.